afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, June 10th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. There's, just to let the Tradera folks know, I've now posted a boom call, which is an introductory call for people that aren't familiar with Tradera and the actual real-time opportunity of it. So that is on our Tradera section of weareonelifeforall.net. You'll see it in the marker, and you'll see it posted, and you can use it at will to help you build your business. We also have a Time for Change call tonight. It's going to be a humdinger, about the best way I can describe it. So, one thing that I think we're all aware, you don't need to see it, you just feel it. And as I've talked about quite a bit, our natural state of being is a lot different than how things are being interpreted currently on this planet. You'll notice that I'm sure you will experience one time or another where you've been angry or upset about something, and how long it takes to recover from that. And how uncomfortable it is for us to be in that frequency where we become angry and confrontational, whatever spurs it, whatever ignites it. And a lot of the times it's just absolutely, it's ignorance on a lot of parts because it's not knowing who and what we are. And remember that bicameral residual that lays in our existence because the civilization wasn't bicameral for so very long, up until 3,000 years ago. So we have a lot of people on this planet that are still in that residual bicameralism. And that's what you witness and see all around you. And we also see confrontation. We see and feel it, the disruption across America and the avenues that have been taking place. And isn't it amazing? The natural state of being is love and joy and peace and kindness. It does not make us weak. It doesn't make us weak. It makes us the opposite, very strong, powerful. So how do you counteract something that's part of us? See, because all of this it's all part of the one. It's all part of the collective consciousness. Yeah, there's areas of the collective consciousness that are not awake, and that's part of our ascension. It's part of becoming aware of it. And the damage that's done on the violence that all of us have experienced it. In this lifetime, it's not like we're rookies to it. We're experienced beings. We've been exposed to all forms of negative, low, dark matter frequencies. So it's not like, oh, wow, what's this? But we also know the difference, and we know that this planet is transforming, not the way it's presented. I'll put it that way. It isn't transforming the way it's presented on the hypnotizer boxes, the TVs, and those TVs, all the TVs across the planet send out frequencies that affect the brain waves and affect the central centers of emotion, anxiety, fear, so on and so forth. So that's why I stopped watching TV a long time ago. But you begin to realize that, okay, so we've got some unnatural state of being amongst the civilization, amongst the population of this country, and probably most likely all over the planet. So what is the direction? Well, it's with these meditations, we're at 111 million people globally. So, and we're talking about heart-mind confidence and not ego mind. But we are affecting, in a large way, the planet, the people. And that's not negating all the other groups that meditate either. So imagine that collectively all of us meditating for an increase, an elevation in frequency for all of us. And it gets to a point where those in the lower dark matter cannot vibrate. It irritates them. It stirs them up because of these higher frequencies. And duly so, all right? But remember that all of them are part of the collective consciousness. And what they see, they look at as being good. I understand that perspective. Now, we see it as totally the opposite. And this is, again, the yin and the yang, okay? The imbalance. And what we've seen throughout the generations, there's people on this call that were around during the Detroit riots. They were around during Wayne State University massacres. They were out, there was a lot of things that have happened in this country's history that's repetitive, pretty much. And so when we look at the issues that are occurring, all the same, nothing different. They play this incessant race, color, which is absolutely ludicrous. And unfortunately, those that are in bicameral state fall for it. And that is because they're unconscious. So they're easily led and easily manipulated. And I don't think they know that, but they are. So when we understand that, okay, so we balance everything through our intent, through our heart minds, through the God within us. And how do you do that? Well, it's twofold. One is yourself. Yourself, you go deeper and deeper within yourself. It must start with you. It doesn't start outside of you, it starts with you. And we know that violence, confrontation, prejudice, all of the things that we have all we've experienced, we've all are aware of, are not our natural state of being. And as we transform this planet into a paradise, which means peace, a civilization of the universe, everything the opposite of what it is currently, and as you're viewing and seeing, friends and family, fear and stress and anxiety. And all of and this is interesting because there is a positive perspective to everything. There is just not a negative. There's also a positive side to things that seem relentless and destructive. Now, when we look at this current debacle for the civilization, we realize that you have small business owners that have lost their businesses through rioting, instigated activity. I should put it that way: instigated activity. So, which is very disruptive, obviously, to those business owners who've been in business, maybe 20, 30 years. A lot of people don't know this, but the small businesses of this country employ 90% of the people. And everybody thought, well, I thought the major corporations employ the majority of the people. They don't. It's the small businesses across this country that employ 90% of the people that are employed in this country. And so you can see how, with this facade that's taken place over the people globally, the damage it stems to these small businesses, which employ a lot of people. So we look at all this and the perspective of it. Well, for some, it's a huge wake-up call because they're seeing things that they've ignored for a long time. And they can't ignore it because it's everywhere. And the positive perspectives of this is that this shall not continue, period. shall not continue. And the highest power that we all possess is our consciousness. It is the God which cannot be overridden. So when we begin to defray or eliminate the subterfuge, the chaos, so to speak, the attitude, the direction, remember something. As you witness these things, because I've said this for the last few years, several years actually, there'll be things happening every split second. And some of it's going to blow you away. And that's been engaged. So every day it's going to be something else. But remember something is that the majority of our brothers and sisters are in a bicameral residual state. What does that mean? It's to understand that and not participate in it. It is, number one, they cannot think for themselves. They cannot lead themselves. They cannot govern themselves. They do not create value. And they do not build wealth for themselves in a civilization. So when you understand what that means, you're watching bicameral activity across the country. Those that are being led, that are weak-minded because they're bicameral. So they're easily manipulated, easily convinced of anything. And, they're directed, managed, and released to cause chaos. And I think we all know that. It's not something that's a secret. And so all of the things that have taken place through our existence in this life, you've always noticed that these uprisings, instigated uprisings, the only reason they last is because those who are conscious choose to engage. That's why they last. But when those who are conscious look at it and do not participate in it and continue to ascend, it becomes more and more distant and faded away. And we know that confrontation, think about this, throughout history, when we've had confrontation across the planet, thousands of years, it's always pitting us against us. You ever notice that? It's always pitting us against us. You ever notice that the quote-unquote leaders, the parasitical leaders of the planet, are always safe, secure, protected, while the people who they are supposed to work for are suffering? It's just nothing new. It's happened in all king and queen, all the kingdoms, and the feudal time, the dark, so-called dark ages, all of that. It's always been that way. And those who are actually have all of the power are those who are in subserviency and enslavement in one way, shape, form, or another. So when you look at the current status, it's no different. It's different wrapping. But the conflict, against each other, hating each other, arguing, anger, pummeling, causing death, causing harm and pain. Now, understand what that is. That is transfer. That is them, unfortunately. So it's no different than if there were two of them, they split, and they were beating themselves to a pulp for no real apparent reason. Okay? This is hatred that is unconscious hatred. That's exactly what it is. It's unconscious hatred. It is where the ego mind takes complete control and dictates to the heart mind on how to become emotionally, completely in disarray. Now, in any wars that we have, they've really done nothing. When you really understand the history of the planet, the wars have done nothing. They haven't freed anything. They really haven't. It's temporary before the dark comes back in, infiltrates, perpetrates all kinds of atrocities. So none of this is negative. It is a positive realization that we continue to ascend and not participate, not step in. When I mean participate, don't allow yourself to become so emotional that you end up in it. Okay? The less participation. Now, you can do things. Shop owners across the country can do a lot of things. They may not, they just, like they did, had they done it in the Detroit riots, then there wouldn't have been as much damage. But what you do is, it's just like a hurricane. What do people do when they know a hurricane's coming? Well, they want to protect their property, correct? Now, and understand, this is taking responsibility, thinking for ourselves, leading ourselves, and governing ourselves. So what would you do if you didn't have someone who's supposed to protect you? Because that's apparent right now. That's not happening in this country. Those who have been hired to protect the innocent are not doing it. And that's another good thing, because it proves to us that changes need to be made drastically. And they will be made. And they are being made. So those who reveal themselves, who decide to participate on the lower frequency end, will be moved aside. So you begin to understand that, okay, so we're going to make a shift. And the business owners, the small business owners, you get boarding, you board up your windows, you chain your doors so that they can't break windows, period. And you can do a lot of things to protect your property rather than wait until it may be in the eyesight and in the crosshairs of those who wish to defile. There's a lot of, if you think for yourself and you stay out of fear and you stay from the heart, mind, and the God that you are, then your property will be protected. Period. Engaging, like being one and engaging many, is absolutely insanity. If you engage, it must be in massive numbers, so there would be no confrontation. But when you engage and you're one, that's insanity. And engagement can be done by numbers and overpowering those who wish to defile. That's pretty easy. When you show a force of number, and you're well prepared in number, and you're not disorganized in number, those who are opposing everything that you stand for back away. They back off. They leave. And that is the key to ending this for the people of America, is to show force in number. And when you show force in number, so much so that those who wish to defile have no chance. Even they, in bicameral mode, will look at the number and know that it is futile. And this has happened throughout history at times. In the Revolutionary War, there are situations where the opposing force was so overwhelmed that they just simply left the battlefield without a shot. And it happened in the days of Alexander the Great, in the days of when the Roman Empire was an actual republic, when it was a good structure and not defiled later by the Caesars. So you begin to understand that this isn't new, but it is forgotten at times. So that the force is the number, period. And it is going to be up to the people of the planet in order to assist with the shift as this heats up. It is. It's going to be up, and it doesn't involve murder, rape, and pillage. It involves a solidarity, a show of force and numbers. When you have maybe 100 people and thousands show up structured, what do you think's going to happen? They're gonna back off. There's no way in the world. And that's the key here. Remember what I've talked about, transferring or transcending and ascending, going into a higher frequency as we are. You begin to understand that the civilization of the universe is about the people. It's about us. It's about taking responsibility and governing ourselves and thinking and leading ourselves. That's the responsibility for each of us. Because I kid you not, each and every one of you, and I will share this in the future, are kingdoms. Each of you are kingdoms. Period. You are kingdoms. So, in this meditation, numbers. In this meditation, numbers. So, if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. You know, there's a lot of frequencies and energies. We're all like sponges because we're all interactive. We have parts of the collective consciousness that's in darkness and disarray. We have others that are in clarity and balance. And we have others that are just waking up. I mean, it is a potpourri, so to speak. And don't kid yourself, we all feel it in different ways. We are emotional beings, and we feel it in different ways, these frequencies across the planet. So it is so important to relax our bodies as much as we can naturally. So as you drop your shoulders, picture that the hammock. You're lying in a hammock. It's a summer afternoon. And your eyes are closed. And maybe you were going to read a book or something, and you just kind of fell into this peace. And your eyes are closed. You're not asleep, but you're not awake. You're kind of in between. And you can see the shadows of the leaves moving in a light breeze, which is not too cold, not too warm, just right. And you can feel the breeze, just barely kissing it. And maybe you can smell like a barbecue, or you can hear a dog way far away barking, or some children playing, but it's not disturbing as it seems way far away. And you don't want to, you're interested in moving. You're completely relaxed. You're not moving, and you're not even thinking. You've left your mind alone. And the ego mind is inactive, and the subconscious is inactive, and you're just being. And I know we've had states, all of us, at least a few times so far in this life, we've had those experiences. Where really nothing would disturb us at all. This is moving into bliss, relaxing the body. And every time you do that, you can do it at will. But you relax the body responds. This is great. I'm in total peace. I'm in harmony with the God within me. We are one. The picture of that as the body just melts, it just releases all of the stress and tension, anxiety, and fears, because they come in waves. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of the times now, it isn't you. It isn't yours. Understand that. It is the combination of all of the lower survival matter frequencies that are being stirred up on this planet. Because we are ascending. We're leaving this. We're in 5D, which makes it even more focused and makes us even more aware. And watch as it fades, because it's going to fade. So, our bodies are relaxed. And then we move into the now. And this helps even more. Because when we're in the now, we're focused on exactly the moment. We still the mind, the ego mind. We still the subconscious mind. We don't have all that noise and chatter coming in. Okay? And we move into peace. And we lift away all of our anxiety and fears and stresses and frustrations, which a lot of those are others coming at us. These are others' emotions, others' feelings, stresses. So the body relaxes, we're in the now, we still the ego mind, and the now is the space between heartbeats. It's exactly what it is. Space between heartbeats. So whatever you're doing, you would never cut your finger when you were chopping or doing something if you were focused on what you were doing. I guarantee it. You would not ever. And the only reason that we do these things is because we are not in the now. Our minds are wandering off into a future that is not there yet and a past that is dead. Think about that. See? Now, unfortunately, a lot of us are seduced into the past. Something triggers an emotion, a frequency, a memory, and we start sitting there and we review it, and embrace it, reminisce it, and so on and so forth. And a lot of us do that unconsciously. We aren't aware how much we do it. It kind of comforts us and keeps us out of the now. And so a lot of the times we take that past, we bring it into a future that doesn't exist. We create the future out of that past, and we relive the past in the future. And as I've said, that's why so many people say, I feel like I've been running in circles my whole life. That's why. So it's not really something we care to do. Yeah, you'll touch on a memory or something, say, hey, that's great, you move on, it's over. It's been gone a long time ago. You open up more room and more space for new adventures and new experiences moving forward. That's gone. It's over. So the only time we create our future is also in the now. It's what we're focused on in the moment. And as we focus on the moment, we're much more aware of the moment. And we know that that's all we have is moment to moment. So we want to breathe. We want to breath in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. And breathing is so important because it's always in the now and it focuses us on the now. It doesn't focus us anywhere else, only on the now. So this is divine positive energy that we breath in. It is unmessed with. It is pure. It comes right from source creation, right from pure consciousness. So visualize it as we bring it in, easy breath in. We start and we pull this breath, this divine positive energy, all the way up through the center of our bodies into the back of our heads. So we start with the root chakra, the I am, the Muladhara, and it is a red wheel of light. And then we move to the orange wheel of light, our sacral chakra, the I feel. And then we bring that breath, that divine positive energy, up to the yellow wheel of light, the yellow chakra, the I am. And then we move it to the heart chakra, the I love, the green wheel of light chakra. And then we move to the throat chakra, the I talk, the blue wheel of light. And then the third eye chakra, I see, the violet wheel of light. And then finally the crown chakra, the I understand, the purple wheel of light. And we bring it all the way up. You can feel it as you move it through these wheels of light, through your chakras, and then into the back of the head. And we hold it briefly. I am light, I am love, I am. We just hold it briefly. And as we do that, we compress it into pure liquid energy. And we release it over the pineal gland. Now, the pineal gland is shrunk, it's small, maybe the size of a prune. You visualize it however you want. And as we release this liquid energy, it begins to expand. It begins to come alive. And it's very important for us because I look at it as a rosebud. And as this liquid energy is poured over it, saturates, flooding, and bathing it, begins to open and bloom. Now, the petals of that rose are immortal, so it doesn't deteriorate, doesn't die. And we keep doing this process. And the pineal gland is the gateway to all particles of existence. It is the gateway to pure consciousness, and it is the gateway to beyond. It is the gateway to everything and all existence. So it's very important to us while we're in these bodies. So visualize that as many times as you choose. Now, as we've relaxed the body, moved into the now, and we've moved our breath into liquid frequency up through our wheels of light, our chakras, we understand that we are all one and that we are merged with the God, the pure consciousness within us. And the body is one with that, and the heart-mind is the navigator. And it oversees all things through our pure consciousness. So we are all consciously aware that we are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. And we have others with us. Now, visualize this and the impact on this planet. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the archetypes. They are vast in number in the trillions. They vibrate at a higher frequency than we do. This is why we don't see them like we see each other. They do come in different forms, in physicality, and they do lend us messages to remember how spectacular it is to be in these bodies, how phenomenal it is to exist in physical form, and the deep gratitude that we share with that. As many as tens of thousands can surround any one of us at any one time. And the reason they can do that is because of their frequency, they hold a much smaller space. Trillions of them. And they're consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. We have the ascended masters. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Moria, Abundancia, Pel, Thoth, many, many, many more. And they are those who have ascended out of body and hold God form. They hold pure consciousness. That's their form. We have ascended into body, and we're housed by physical form to experience the physical form. So we're all experiencing, we're all perfecting in different levels, in different ways. It doesn't make any one of us any more than any other. And they are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And we're one. And we've all been helping each other, back and forth. So we're assembling the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, to form a circle of light. Now, we call out to all the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And they must be consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. If their frequency isn't high, they can't be with us in any way, shape, or form. And they come in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this universe. They come in the trillions from every direction. Just keep visualizing this expansion, the power that it is, the numbers that it is. And we also call upon all the inhabitants of inner Earth, follow Earth, beneath Earth, Agartha, many, many, many civilizations. And only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They cannot sustain lower dark matter frequencies around such high frequencies of deep eternal love and gratitude. They cannot. That's why they must be consciously aware of who and what they are. And they come in the billions. Numbers. We call upon all of the galactics, all the off-worlders, many, many, many civilizations, just in this quadrant of the galaxy, just in this, through the solar system, as many as over 1,000 plus traverse through the solar system every single day. Now, our familiarity is fractioned compared to how many. We have the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans. We have the Saturnians, the Venusians. We have the Zeta Reticuli. We have the Feline. We have the Golden Pyramid. We have the Avion. And our familiarity with many different civilizations. You have the Greys, you have the Nords, you have the Dracos, the Reptilians. These are all civilizations, good, bad, or indifferent. They're all part of the one. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. But we also call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. And they come in the billions. Numbers. Visualize all of them, all of us assembling here. Magnificent, omnipotent power of deep eternal love and gratitude and pure consciousness of this many gods assembled in one area. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. I just name a few of them: the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the dwarves, the gnomes, the trolls, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they come in color, shape, sizes, forms, configurations, of which many we've never seen before. And they come in the trillions, numbers, massive numbers. And all of us assembled, gathered here, in this meditation, this circle of light, at the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. And we're all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And we're all one. Massive numbers, trillions of googolplexes, billions, all assembled, all gathered here to assist the lifting of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. Our God light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. Visualize it, watch it flood everything, everywhere. Numbers, unlimited numbers, power, reverence, divineness, deep eternal love and gratitude. We are all of the highest, of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and all of the highest and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. And we begin to levitate up. Massive circle of light. All you see is the light. It grays out the darkness of space. It floods everything, bathes everything, saturates everything in the highest and deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. As we levitate, continue to do so, we come into this gossamer field. It's everywhere. It is filled with trillions of colors, vibrant colors, all glittering and reflecting. And we're met with many of them. The emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. The violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column that reminds us of our power, our strength, our resolve. We come across the column of the white fire. This is our God armor. This is maintaining high vibrational frequencies of the deepest of eternal love and the deepest of eternal gratitude. Now, this armor, no lower dark matter frequencies or no lower survival matter frequencies can even come near us. No harm can be done to us at all. But only we choose that if we lower our vibrational frequency low enough, we then weaken our fire armor, our white fire, just enough to let these lower frequencies in. Now, if we do that, we're also met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column that reminds us that if we do lower ourselves in the lower dark matter frequencies, we can immediately call upon the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of those frequencies into neutral light substance, and we can immediately send it back to pure consciousness, source creation, which things, and it becomes nothing. But we also are met with the violet ray. This is a column that reminds us that we can bring the violet ray right in behind the purple transmuting flame, and we can use the violet ray to harmonize and lift our frequencies into a balance of deep eternal love and gratitude, restoring completely our white fire armor, our armor of pure consciousness of God. And we're also reminded of the golden white pink light. This is the column that reminds us of who and what we are. We are the God. We are the pure consciousness. We are the deep eternal love, and we are the deep eternal gratitude. We are all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And we continue to intensify in our love and gratitude. And we continue to expand in our love and gratitude. And we continue in massive numbers. Now, some of us who are carrying physical form decide to step outside the body and float effortlessly above the body. Now, we're all ascending in this circle of light. We look and we see this massive column. We created this column. It is larger than the solar system. We designed it to be opaque. It has trillions of prismatic colors that we don't see on Earth, this planet. And they're vibrating everywhere. Filled deep eternal love and gratitude, gentleness, kindness, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And at the top, we designed it so that the golden ocean can flow 360 degrees down upon everything. Now, the golden ocean is pure consciousness. It's the God. It's deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude. It is gentleness, kindness, peace. It is also omnipotently powerful. And as the golden ocean saturates and floods and bathes everything and everything, each of us are drops of that golden ocean, and each of us hold the essence of that golden ocean, of the deep eternal love and gratitude. And understand, this planet is being completely saturated, flooded, and bathed in all of this, and the googolplexus of all of us, and the numbers, massive, unfathomable for some. We move and we see a little bit over center circle, this sphere, meditative sphere. We all created this sphere well over 2 years ago. It houses all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Well over 800 meditations in perpetual motion. These are the highest of the highest high of deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude. And this sphere continues to intensify and continues to expand. This is why it can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Now visualize this. Googolplexus of us, from every part of existence, all convening to levitate, to lift the planet and this civilization into an existence of deep eternal gratitude and deep eternal love, prosperity, abundance, wealth, happiness, and joy, gentleness and kindness, generosity and humbleness. To all of those who are asleep, who do not understand the anger that they perpetrate, will not be able to sustain that frequency. They will either become no more, or they will literally embrace the gods within them. And this is what is transforming everyone and everything, all of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest values in the universe. It is numbers. And the massive numbers, the gigaplexes that we assemble here in this now, this meditation, this circle of light, are unfathomable. Visualize the pure liquid crystal energy that we are emitting to ourselves and everyone on the planet. Watch this wave from the column and the sphere continually flood everything, neutralizing everything. Neutralizing all lower vibrational frequencies completely, transmuting them into neutralized substance, literally send them back to pure consciousness where they are no more. This cannot be stopped. It cannot be stalled. It is in full motion. And we've been in full motion, and we're heading towards 3 years of consistent full motion of meditating every single day, 365 days a year, with over 111 million globally. Now, that vibrational frequency, we all feel it, and it's lifting us, and we are becoming more conscious, more aware. We are moving more into gentleness, more into generosity and humbleness. This does not make us weak. It makes us the opposite. It is of our natural state of being. We are conscious power of pure consciousness. We literally can stop the endings of universes. It's all fact. So doesn't it make sense that we can literally transcend this planet and its civilization into the highest of the highest high of deep eternal love and gratitude? Absolutely. That's exactly what's happening. Visualize the numbers. It's massive. And whenever any of you fall into a forlornment of anything that's happening around you, switch into the now and visualize what we assemble here every single day in this quadrant of this galaxy, in this solar system, with this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. Because we are the change, and we are transcending everything. This is a paradise planet. It is a God planet. All the lower dark matter frequencies cannot sustain themselves. They will either be reabsorbed into pure consciousness, or they will awaken. They will embrace the gods within them and the deep eternal love and gratitude that they are. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in. Easy breath out. Float in the love that you are. Move slowly. Open your eyes slowly. Look through your heart mind. Experience the numbers of all of us. Experience the deep eternal love and the deep eternal gratitude. The gentleness, the kindness, the generosity, the humbleness, the bliss, the joy, the peace, the tranquility and benevolence, and the divineness of the one, of the God within each and every one of us, of the pure consciousness, the power, the strength, the resolve, the healing. Take this with you the rest of the day, into the evening and night, into the following morning. This is pure bliss. For your seeing the actual transformation of this planet and all the brothers and sisters and all life and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. So we will be back here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Time for Change call. And we will be back here tomorrow, Thursday,